Have you ever gotten the last laugh on a greedy CEO? When I joined this tech startup in the early 2000s, I knew the salary wasn't great. We'd agreed there'd be no paid overtime, just a salary review in 3 months and then annually. But the job itself, it was interesting, challenging, and I genuinely loved it. I figured the experience and skills I'd gain would more than make up for the mediocre pay. Fast forward 3 years, and the company had grown. We had 10 solid clients, a bunch more trialing, and money was finally rolling in. That's when we started having discussions about back pay and compensation for the insane amount of overtime I'd put in, roughly $50,000 worth. Legally, it couldn't be labeled as back pay, since the overtime wasn't officially sanctioned, but the company openly acknowledged it in emails, and we were talking about a discretionary bonus instead. I felt secure. We had it in writing. I even said I'd settle for discounted equity if cash flow was tight. Then things got shady. The discussions started dragging. Eventually, I was offered equity, but the company's valuation was laughably inflated, hundreds of millions. My share, less than 0.01%. For a company with just 9 employees and a projected annual revenue of $2 million. It was a joke, a big middle finger dressed up as a generous offer. I didn't say anything. I just stood up, walked into the CTO's office, and handed in my resignation. Cue panic. See, I was still on the original contract. That meant 1 month's notice, but I also had a mountain of untaken paid leave. Basically, I could walk out that day, and I did. The very next morning, I sent a registered letter formally requesting my unpaid overtime. Their response? A flat-out number. Another letter followed, more detailed, more assertive. Again, rejected. They claimed the bonus was discretionary, and that there is no overtime. What they didn't know was that I had already spoken to a lawyer. In that country at the time, suing your employer was practically unheard of, but totally legal, and employers were fully liable in cases like this. Here's where it gets even better. While discussing strategy with my attorney, I came across something in the labor laws, a 7-year limitation window. Not only that, but if unpaid wages were claimed within that period, they had to be paid back with daily interest, compound interest, at a 9% annual rate above the base rate. At that time, that meant about 12% interest, daily, compounding. I smiled. I told my lawyer, let's wait. For the next few years, I moved on with life, watched from afar as the company grew and the CEO got more smug and high profile. He probably thought I'd forgotten. I hadn't. Just shy of 7 years later, I reconnected with a new lawyer and filed the case. We had all the evidence. Emails, letters, refusals, everything. The amount owed had ballooned. With interest, it was now $112,000. And here's the kicker. On top of that, there were statutory penalties for each instance of unpaid overtime. Total claim, around $135,000. When the CEO got the notice, he completely lost it. He called me, screaming profanities over the phone. What he didn't know was, I was recording the whole thing. That call went straight into our legal filing. When the judge heard the voicemail, he was furious. Then he read through the emails, one after another. Every piece of evidence destroyed their case. The judgment was swift. The company was to pay the full amount immediately, including all my legal fees. Oh, and the Department of Labor launched a full audit into their overtime practices. They paid up a week later, but karma wasn't done yet. The night after the verdict, the CEO apparently got blackout drunk. He crashed his brand new Mercedes S-Class into another car, got a DUI, lost his license, and because he was drunk, his insurance refused to cover the damages. I didn't get back my years of underpaid work, but I got justice with interest.